right? So you want to make some changes. I think we can help with that. Let's start by learning about some habits. Okay, so we're going to do a three-part series. Part one today, we're going to talk about what is a habit, why does your body do it, and why is it so important to use it to your own advantage, right? Why are these such an important aspect of your life? Part two, we're going to talk about how to make good habits. Part three, we're going to talk about how to take apart bad habits. So let's get started. Why does your body want to create a habit in the first place? And it's actually pretty straightforward. It's simple and easy. The body wants to automate everything. From an evolutionary standpoint, if we were constantly bogged down with all of this stimulus and information, we would not be nearly as productive. So the body likes to automate things so that you don't have to think about multiple things at one time. It sees something it's seen before, so it starts off a process. That way you don't have to worry about as much. It simplifies things, and it makes you more productive. So when we look at this and we have these habits, why are they so important? Well, they're important because they interact with our identity, right? So the two they overlap. There's a lot of correlation between the two. If I'm a musician, that's my identity. I wake up every day and I play the instrument. And vice versa, if I play the instrument every day, there's a good chance that I'm a musician. That's my identity. So the two are interrelated. So if you want to make a change, generally you're not saying, well, really this is what I want. I want to change this habit. Really you're saying who you want to be, right? I want to be a musician. Okay, then we got to change the habit. So this is the direction that we're going in right here. So you know who you want to be. You know what you want your identity to be. How do we fix that? Well, I can't just say, it does go both ways, but I can't just say you're a musician now. I can't just say you're fit, you're in good shape now. I have to change some things. When I change these habits, that lets me change the identity to what you want and who you want to be. Easy. Now, the reason that habits are such an important part, because it's not your entire identity, obviously, but when you look at it, if you look at this pie chart right here, we'll go ahead and say this section right here is your habits, that big section right there. And then this is everything else. And this kind of makes sense. So think about this, that these were all of your actions in the course of a day, a week, a month. How many of them do you think would be just habitual? And think about even just from this morning until right now when you're watching this video, how many things have you done and how many of it was just kind of on autopilot? It's the same thing you did yesterday, the same thing you did last week. They're habits, right? Habits are a very large section of all of your actions, and all your actions make who you are. It's your identity, right? So habits by definition are very important. If you can change those, if you can affect change in those, you can change who you are. You can change what you want to be. So this process right here, this cyclical process is exactly the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today. This is a habit, these 4 steps. So Q is the first step. Your body senses something in its environment that it's seen before, and it knows it has a game plan. So the unconscious mind sets you in motion, and it does so by providing a craving, right? So this is kind of unconscious. You notice something, the craving. Okay, so the body sends a signal and says, hey, I remember this. If you start doing this right now, it'll make things easier in the long run. So you crave something. Generally, when I crave something, it warrants a response. Then if I respond to this thing, I get the reward. Once I get the reward, it feeds back in the cycle. The more times you reward the body in some way, the more likely it is to continue wanting to make this habit. And then it kind of forms somewhat of an addiction. Just like substances, habits can be very addicting, right? So when we look at this, I just want to give you one concrete example really quickly. And the one that's coming to mind right now is if you wake up in the morning and you're tired, you're groggy. I think everybody experienced that the first time we got a job out of high school. You wake up, you're tired, you didn't get enough sleep. I crave energy. I crave focus, attention, all that good stuff. My response soon becomes, well, I'll just have a cup of coffee, right? And then that rewards me with, now I feel like I have focus and energy, and then that feeds back in. Okay, the more times that I get focus and energy from coffee, that is now my cue. Now you can be kind of addicted to caffeine and like caffeine, but you notice that if you've ever taken like a caffeine supplement, like a pill, even if you woke up and took a caffeine supplement, you felt energy, you felt focused, you would still crave a cup of coffee because it has become a habit. The body understands that process and understands that it gives you a reward. So you're still going to crave doing that. So that's kind of an overlap or an overlay of this. In the next two, we're going to talk about good habits and bad habits and how to affect both.